about Suzanne? God, thank you all for coming. God, this feels a little bit like a homecoming to me. God, thank you all for coming out here on this beautiful night and doing what we all need to do, which is stand up for the future of our Commonwealth of Virginia, because tomorrow we get to make a statement. Tomorrow, November the 2nd, we as Virginians, we get to stand up and make a defining statement about the future of our Commonwealth. A statement that says that we believe that we will soar, not settle. A statement that says we will no longer be told that the dreams of our children have to be confined by mediocrity and low expectations. A statement that says we are rejecting the left, liberal, progressive agenda that has been pushed down our throats. There is an amazing moment going on. You all feel it. You all feel it, that spirit in the air. The spirit in the air is Virginians coming together, not Republicans against Democrats, but Virginians coming together and defining our future. Virginians rejecting a culture that tells our children that they have to shelve their hope. A culture that says that we have to accept mediocrity. Virginians, this is the moment. This is the moment where we redefine where power sits, out of the marble halls in Richmond to the kitchen tables all over Virginia. Kitchen tables that are bonded together by freedom and liberty. Kitchen tables, most importantly, where breakfast is served after the midnight shift. Kitchen tables that reflect the values that we all hold dear. From the farms in the Shenandoah, to the dockyards in Newport News, to the coal mines in Southwest Virginia, to the memorials in Arlington National Cemetery. To the banks of the James River, to the sandy beaches of my Virginia Beach home. This is our moment for our children, for our grandchildren, for our nieces, for our nephews, for our neighbors, to stand up and recognize this stopped being a campaign a long time ago. This is a movement led by Virginians. And together we will build this Virginia, this Virginia promise that we hold dear, where we know we must and will be the best place to live and work and raise a family. This place where the Virginia promise comes alive, where our children dream the biggest dreams they can think of, and all they have to do is go get it. That is the Virginia where parents are fundamentally involved in their children's education. But this Virginia promise, it hangs in the balance. It hangs in the balance, and tomorrow we have got to take it. It will not be given to us. It hangs in the balance because on one side of the ballot is Terry McAuliffe. On one side of the ballot is Terry McAuliffe, who believes that government should indeed stand between parents and their children. On one side of the ballot is Terry McAuliffe, who believes that big government should tell you that you have to join a union. On one side is Terry McAuliffe, who says your employer should fire you if you choose not to get the vaccine, and you shouldn't get unemployment. On one side of the ballot is Terry McAuliffe, who wants to raise your taxes without you having a voice. He believes in big government, but on the other side of the ballot is liberty and freedom. while the names are Jason Miares, while the names are Winsome Sears, while the name is Glenn Youngkin, it is all of you on the ballot with us. And I'll tell you one basic truth. Terry McAuliffe and big government will lose to Virginia every single day of the week. Friends, this Virginia promise can come alive. It can come alive, but we have to do the work. The work starts tomorrow, and we walk in the great spirit footsteps of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and Madison and Monroe and Patrick Henry. It's this spirit that's flowing across the Commonwealth right now, waking us up to a future that we have to go get. We cannot wait till it comes to us. Our democracy is not a spectator sport. It is an active democracy, and we all need to get in the arena together to make it happen, and we're going to do it tomorrow. Very modest expectations. We are going to sweep our statewide office. Sweep. And I can't tell you how proud I am going to be to watch Jason Miares become our next Attorney General. Jason. And I can't tell you how proud I'm going to be to watch Winsome Sears become our next Lieutenant Governor. But we are not stopping there. We are going to get back control of our House of Delegates big time. And there are great candidates all over that are ready to go work for you, but it doesn't stop there. We are going to win local offices all over Virginia. Board of Supervisors, City Council, Sheriff races. And friends, we are going to win school board races all over the Commonwealth. The single most important elected office today is school boards, and we all know it. And we all know it. This is going to be a big moment, friends. This is going to be a big moment, and then we have to go to work. And let me tell you what's going to happen on that first day. Go on a journey with me. On that first day, Jason and Winsome and I, we get to stand under Mr. Jefferson's portico. We get to stand in Richmond, and we're going to put our right hand on a holy Bible, and we're going to swear to God to protect the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of this great Commonwealth of Virginia. And then we're going to walk down those steps. And Paige is going to join Jason, and Terrence is going to join Winsome, and Suzanne's going to join me, and we're going to ask everybody else who wants to join us to stop for a moment of prayer. We're going to thank the Lord for watching over us, for protecting us, for guiding us, for giving us a path to walk on. And then we're going to ask for His help to go forward, to lead us so that we speak His words, not ours, His will, not mine. And then we're going to say amen, and then we're going to work. And we're going to work. And on that first day, we are going to cut the cost of living in Virginia. It's too expensive to live here. We're going to cut everybody's taxes on day one. On day one. We know it is too expensive here. We watched the cost of living go through the roof. We've watched Virginians move away faster than they move here from the other 49 states. And the worst thing is, the biggest group moving away are 26 to 35-year-olds. That's our future. They're going someplace else to build their lives. Get there. They're building their lives someplace else, so we have to change all this. We have to change it all. So on day one, we are going to declare the largest tax refund in the history of Virginia. The The liberal leadership in Richmond overtaxed us all $2.6 billion last year, and they're going to do it again this year. That is your money, not Terry McAuliffe's. It's your money. We can fund tax refunds and still fund our plan. So we're going to reduce taxes going forward by eliminating the grocery tax. We're going to double everybody's standard deduction. We're going to eliminate the most recent increase of the gas tax for 1 year. Gas is too expensive. And finally, we're going to work for our veterans. We're going to work for our veterans. 1 out of 11 Virginians is a veteran. We all know freedom is not free. And Virginia has forgotten how to say thank you. Forgotten how to say thank you. We as Virginians need to thank our veterans so they stay here. They make our communities better. They're the fabric of our communities. We want to say thank you. So on day one, we are going to build up to $40,000 over 3 years of our veterans' retirement benefits that we will not tax. We won't tax it. I want you to stay here. I want you to stay here. Friends, when we add it all up together, it's worth $1,400, almost $1,500 in year one to a family of 4. My opponent, hundreds of pages of policy. It's going to cost Virginians $16 billion. A $5,400 tax bill for every single Virginian. He thinks it's his money. I know it's your money. We're getting our cost of living down. That's what we're doing. On day one, we're going to reestablish expectations of excellence in our schools. When my opponent was governor, 88 schools failed to reach their accreditation. And rather than do the hard work and fix it, you know what he did? He just lowered the standards so not one would fail. Today, Virginia ranks 50th in the nation when it comes to the standards in math and reading to progress in our schools, 50th. And it shows up in our kids' scores. It shows up just like George W. Bush told us that it would be the soft bigotry of low expectations. We do not want to be a commonwealth of low expectations. We want to be a commonwealth of high expectations. And when we see those scores where 55% of white children in Virginia can't pass an 8th grade math equivalency test, 70% of Latino children, over 80% of black children cannot pass an 8th grade math equivalency test, we have to say stop. Stop. The gap is wholly unacceptable. The order of magnitude of these numbers is shocking. We've got to go to work for our kids because this is the legacy that Terry McAuliffe left us, and we're going to go to work on day one and fix it. So on day one, we are going to declare that Virginia schools will be open 5 days a week, no shutdown. Kids are going to be in the classroom. We are going to raise expectations and then fund in the largest education budget in the history of Virginia. Raising teacher salaries, funding into facilities, funding special education. Virginia's kids with disabilities have suffered mightily during this pandemic, and they deserve our support. But then we're pressing forward with the most aggressive charter school program in the history of Virginia. We will give parents choice within the public school system. Today, Virginia has 8 charter schools in the entire Commonwealth. 8. Maryland has 140. North Carolina has 190. We have 8. We will launch 20 on day one, and it is a down payment. It's a down payment to close that gap and give our parents choice. But friends, we know it all starts with curriculum. It all does. And so let me be very, very clear. We will teach accelerated math in Virginia schools. We will award advanced diplomas. We will teach all history, the good and the bad. The good and the bad. America is the greatest country on the planet. We have an amazing history, but we also have some abhorrent dark chapters. We must teach it all because we can't know where we're going unless we know where we have come from. So let me also be clear. We won't teach our children to view everything through a lens of race. We know it's not right. We are all created equal. And to teach our children to divide one another into buckets of folks that are oppressed and others that are oppressors, it steals dreams. We will not be a commonwealth of dream stealers. We'll be a commonwealth of dream enablers. This is what we're going to do. And we know it flies directly in the face of those immortal words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who implored us to be better than ourselves, to judge one another based on the content of our character and not the color of our skin. So friends, on day one, I will ban critical race theory and make sure our schools are teaching our kids everything they need to know. On day one, we're standing up for law enforcement because law enforcement stands up for us. We're at a 20-year high in murder rate in Virginia. 4 of our great cities rank in the top 65 deadliest cities in America, with Richmond at number 11, racing back to number 1, Norfolk, Hampton, Newport News. My opponent doesn't care. When he was governor, the murder rate went up 43%. The rape rate went up every year. He would not even meet with the Police Benevolent Association that represents 7,000 of our heroes who put a bulletproof vest on every day to go to work. Friends, we can do so much better, and that's why 50 sheriffs have endorsed us. 4 have switched parties and joined Republicans. We've been endorsed by the Fraternal Order of Police, the Police Benevolent Association. We're going to work on day one. We're going to comprehensively fund law enforcement, higher salaries, better equipment budgets. We're going to fund training. We're going to protect qualified immunity. It will go nowhere. We must fund into our mental health system. It's broken. We know this. We must fund facilities and professionals. And friends, let me be clear. On day one, I will fire the entire parole board, and we're starting all over. We know on day one, we have to get this great economy moving. We got to get it moving. It's been stalled out for 8 years. The states around us are lapping us. Maryland, North Carolina, Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia. They've been growing 70% faster every year for 8 years. North Carolina generated 8 times the jobs that Virginia did in the last 8 years. Tennessee 6 times. We watched Ford Motor Company put 4 plants down, 2 in Kentucky, 1 in Tennessee, 1 in Georgia, none in Virginia. 11,000 jobs did not come here. They should be right over there, and they're not here, and we're going to go get it. We're going to go get it. I have to say, my opponent doesn't understand any of this. 32 of his 79 economic development deals generated 0 jobs. 0. He announced 14,000 jobs, 7,000 showed up. Let me be clear. In my world I came from, if that was your CEO, you would fire him, not rehire him. This is what it's about. So we're getting to work on day one, and we will announce that Virginia is open for business. No lockdowns, no shutdowns. We're moving. We're moving. We are going to protect our right to work. We're not going to force people to join unions. This isn't an anti-union comment, it's a pro-worker comment. That's what it is. The Virginia Economic Development Partnership tells us that if we lose right to work, it'll cost us $11 billion in investment and nearly 40,000 jobs. My opponent looked at a camera and he said when the bill comes to his desk, he will sign it to get rid of right to work, and then the unions piled millions of dollars into his campaign. Friends, he is bought and paid for. I am not. I'm going to do the right thing for Virginia. But we have to get growing. We must get growing. So on day one, we're going to cut 25% of job-killing regulations. The Virginia Code is 37,000 pages long. Try printing that out on your home computer. We're going to provide a 12-month tax holiday for small business. Keep your profits so you can grow and hire people. And friends, we are going to get Virginia back to work. We're going back to work. We're going to have workforce pipelines so folks can either go to college or straight into the workforce with credentials. We're going to train a workforce of the future. We have to get Virginia innovating again. We're ranked 49th in the nation as best place to start a business. Only Connecticut is worse. I have been to Connecticut. We do not want to be Connecticut. So we have to have accelerators and incubators. We got to form capital. We got to cut the regulations to get a business going. We must start businesses again. Friends, this is what it turns into. Governors do not create jobs. Businesses and people do. Businesses and people do. My job is to partner with you. My job is together. We can grow our economy and create 400,000 jobs, foster 10,000 startups, and lift up all Virginians. And we're going to get this done. And finally, on day one, and it's going to be a busy day. There's a day 2 and day 3 coming, so get ready. By the way, I work in real people time, not government time. On day 1, we're going to make our government work for us and stop telling us what to do all the time. It starts with our constitutional rights. We know they've been trampled on. We've got to stand up for them, our First Amendment right. When this governor opened up ABC stores and kept my church closed, when this government allows the FBI to come in and try to silence parents, he doesn't understand our First Amendment rights. He doesn't understand our Second Amendment rights. He doesn't understand our 10th Amendment rights. We're going to work to protect our Constitution. Friends, let me tell you. I have a pet peeve. I cannot stand inefficiency and waste. And here I am going into government. So on day 1, we are launching a statewide audit. We are going to root out fraud and waste, increase transparency. And the 2 places we're starting right out of the box are the Virginia Employment Commission and the DMV. And friends, here's how you're going to know we're making progress. Because down the road, you're going to call the Department of Motor Vehicles and 2 things are going to happen. First, somebody's going to answer the phone. And second of all, they're going to say, "Hi, how may I help you?" We have work to do. We have work to do. Hampton Roads will be the economic engine of this Commonwealth, and we're going to get her moving. And I can't wait to work with all of you to make it happen. But in order for it to happen, we have to get the work done. And the work starts tomorrow. The work starts tomorrow. As I said, this is not a spectator sport. If we want to win this, we have to go get it. This race is neck and neck. Let me tell you how this race is panning out. It's kind of like Terry's driving 45 miles an hour down 64, and I'm coming up on the outside and passing him. But this is not about me. It is not about Winsome. It is not about Jason. It is about you. So we need you to make it happen. So we got to ask you for 2 things, 2 big things. Number 1, go vote tomorrow. Go vote. Polls open at 6 a.m. They're open till 7 p.m. Please go stand in line early and get it done. Get it done. But I have to ask you, bring 10 friends. Now, let me be clear. It can't be 10 people that are here. And it's got to be 10 people that are going to vote the right way. Leave the other guys at home. Second of all, and I don't want to presuppose where anybody is in their faith walk, but if you have a prayer list, put us on it. This is the time. This is the time. Jason and Paige and their kids, and Winsome and Terrence and their kids, and Suzanne and me, and Grant and Hannah, John and Thomas. This is the time for us all to come together and make this work, and we'll get all the help we can get. Folks, this is it, right now. We have worked so hard together to be in this moment where we can take this moment where we can win, this moment where we sweep, this moment where we get back our House of Delegates, this moment where Sheriff Stolley's your next sheriff, this moment where we in fact make a statement. We make this statement that Virginia is leading, not following, that Virginia is standing for excellence, not settling, that Virginia will be a place that will soar. This is what we've got. So let me finish where I started. Thank you. This is a homecoming for me. I was a kid down the road, was taking out trash and washing dishes at the Belvedere Hotel. And I am so humbled. So humbled to be running for an office that was held by Patrick Henry, by Thomas Jefferson, an office that stands for freedom and liberty, an office that gives us the chance to come together and build that Virginia promise. And I will tell you, on the 15th of January, on that day, and I know I speak for Winsome and Jason, I am going to feel so overwhelmed with a sense of honor, of privilege, of opportunity, of humility, to go work for all of you as the 74th governor of this great Commonwealth of Virginia. God bless you all.